I'm just Nick, and this is the Black Arts Pharoah Fuzz. So, here's the deal. This fuzz definitely has its own sound that I would describe as muscular, sound and response. Muscular, and yet for a fuzz, I hesitate to use this word because it's overused and it's not the best word, but I'm going to use it anyway. For a fuzz, this fuzz is relatively transparent. What that really means is it has a relatively flat mid-range response, which is to say it's not really boosting or scooping out the mids. And when we say equate that with transparency, what we're really saying is that the voice of your guitar, what we hear is kind of the distinctive signature of your guitar and the way you play it, generally has to do with the emphasis of certain mid-range frequencies. This guy, set neutrally with its tone controls, and even when you use the range of the tone controls, does not do a whole lot of boosting or cutting in the mids, which tends to make it a kind of an expressive fuzz, and a fuzz that sounds kind of like you and your particular guitar. And if you're the kind of player who likes to sound like you, that's a really good thing. This fuzz has huge range and flexibility. It's got two very sort of interesting and interactive tone controls. It has a high and low input switch, low for a little bit less saturation and more headroom, and high for a little bit more saturation and dynamics. And it has this switch down here, which, as I understand it, puts diodes in or takes them out of the circuit, though it's a 3-position switch. And when I looked at the PDF manual, I couldn't quite parse. Maybe this is a newer version, but I'm not really entirely sure what's going on here. But I'm just going to give you a sense of what these sounds are. With the diodes out, I guess, well, in the up position, we get a volume drop. So we have to compensate with our volume control. This is the fuzz control. This is volume. And then when we come down to the bottom, it's going to be louder, so we can bring down the volume. Maybe a little bit edgier. In the middle, it's really loud. And really kind of edgy with a lot of headroom. You can almost use this thing as a pretty clean boost. It's got a whole lot of output, especially with the switch in that middle position. So I'm not really going to go on and on about this pedal, except to say that it's one of the more sort of, I'd say it's a really good pedal for people who like to tweak their fuzz tones, who like a range of fuzz tones, and also want a lot of dynamics. And it looks so cool. It's got the green LED and the ancient Egyptian sort of motif going for it, and it's called the Pharaoh. If you like what you hear here, and you're somebody who likes a range of fuzz tones, all of which you want to be fairly expressive, this is definitely a cool pedal to check out. Get a hold of the folks at Rock and Roll Vintage, and they will hook you up. Till next time,